great, and I loved every bit of it. I did.
Yeah. So that's how the movie ends, and it ends in a really fun way where it's like, it's documentary style, where the common people are talking about, I agree with what they did. And in the documentary, you hear Troy Duffy having a conversation with his mother about the death penalty, about vigilantism.
Right.
And he comes across as a total asshole to his mother, too. But it's basically the conversation he's having with her shows up in the final scene as they cut to all these people being interviewed about the fact that the Saints are cleaning up the streets in a way that is without any type of oversight from police or government, and they're just like, these people are bad. Boom.
Yeah.
So you get a combination of people being like, who do they think they are? Huh? Whoa. And versus like, it's kind of like that. And then it's like another guy's like, I'm ready to pick up my gun right now and go.
Yeah.
So of course this movie doesn't get made with fucking Columbine.
I wanted to see more of those last ending interviews, though, that it cut out from.
It could have been. I think those could have been interspersed throughout the movie. I don't think we needed to save them all for the end.
That's exactly what I was thinking, too. If they would have plugged those in, pickled in throughout the movie, or peppered in, whatever you say.
Pickled in is great. Yeah, I think it's peppered in, but...
If you would have been porcupined in,
yes,
or pepperonied in throughout the movie, that would have been great.
Because let's see the public, because in that sense, as a viewer, we're supposed to be following the like maybe we're on their journey. So what we're seeing is like the public, them garner favor with the public. And then maybe we get another thing is like sometimes they take it too far. You know, we don't know a lot. We don't know the whole story. Whatever. I would love that. It's just sort of like, what are we watching and how are we supposed to be reacting to it?
Yeah.
So it ends with the assassination of the big mob boss and in a really great scene. And then we cut to the end of the movie. Now, Marcus, that's the end of the movie. That's Boondock Saints. But did you watch the sequel? Mm-hmm. How I laughed out loud when you first see the brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have these terrible looking beards on.
Right.
We don't have to make them look like that. Like,
no.
What are you doing?
Why are you? You're in a different country. Keep your same hairstyle. Like, it doesn't matter.
Also, you obviously shower. You obviously have tools to cut your hair. Why are you like that? It's not like you're depressed or anything like that. Also, why have you left?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Because you say anybody who does anything wrong, we're going to come at you. Get ready.
Yeah, but then now you've just gone away. Like
now you're in Ireland and everything's popped off again in Boston. You left your people. Man, I was laughing so hard. I was just like, man, they're not. They're in. But just set the scene. They're in Ireland. We're not going to do the sequel.
Yeah,
it's not good.
We're not going to.
But this legitimately cut to after that. We cut to Ireland, and the boys are working
on a sheep farm.
With these terrible, scraggly beards and brown leather jackets, and they're riding horses, and I don't know, man. It's just
Billy Connolly's just watching over the little shack house,
and he looks exactly
the same.
Why can't they look as good as he does?
Yeah, right.
I don't know, man. The sequel does not live up to it. Would I watch a third one? Yes, because I'd be interested. Because I've spent so much time researching Boondock Saints, the sequel and the first one and the documentary. I'm obsessed with Troy Duffy and what he's going to do. I don't think it's good. I don't think this movie. I think Boondock Saints is worth a watch. I think it is a time capsule of a specific era of film, and why is it that other movies that do this, like Reservoir Dogs, who do this kind of hyper-violent, cool, making the killers look cool, and like this Tarantino style, why is it successful when he does it? Why isn't it as successful when Troy Duffy does it? And the time period, anyway. And the story behind the movie is fantastic.
It is, yeah.
I think Boondock Saints 1 is certainly worth your time. I don't think the sequel. You have to be a hardcore fan to watch the sequel.
Yeah, I mean, I had to force myself through that.
Yes,
and
too.
it was rough. And all in all, like you said, Adam, Boondock Saints. Yeah, give it a watch. I mean, it's an action movie. It definitely, because that's all it is action. Besides besides Defoe, and which he's great in. I'll give him that, and he's good in. It's fun. Maybe if I would have saw this in another life or when it came out, immediately, right when it came out.
Maybe if I would have saw it in 99 or 98, I would have felt differently about it. But I know I watched it around 2000. It would have been around 2004, probably.
Yeah.
2003, 2004. So it's not like I saw it too far away from when it was finally released. I think it was a victim. I do think American sentiments and things that are out of Troy Duffy's control happened to this movie.
Yeah.
And I think he was a self-sabotager in some ways as well.
Sure.
I don't think that movie shows all of him. I don't think that's who he is as a person completely, but I think it's a lot of him.
Yeah, it seemed like it was. Yeah.
So that's Boondock Saints. And normally we don't do this, right, Marcus? Normally we sign off. We don't talk about what we're doing next.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to say what we're doing next because I'm excited.
I don't mind it because I'm excited to get back into something that me and you both love.
Ooh, this is a movie I rented several times. I'll have to do some research on my end because I have a vague memory of seeing this in theaters. I don't know if that's possible. I have a vague memory of seeing it at the Columbus Square.
Wow, you saw it in theaters, you think?
I think I might have.
Okay.
I might not have, but I know I remember renting it several times because we're dipping into a 90s, some film, but mainly straight to video, action superstar, hairy chest, denim.
You can't get bigger than this guy. You can't.
Jeff Speakman. Oh, baby. We're doing The Perfect Weapon.
The Perfect Weapon, man. I am so excited. Like, I haven't seen this movie, honestly, maybe in 3 years, I think 3-4 years is when I watched it last.
I watched this movie on YouTube probably about 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I too, it hasn't been crazy long because this movie is one I'll go back to every now and then, but I love Jeff Speakman. I love his movies, and The Perfect Weapon is a great one. I got the power. Is there a better training song?
No.
We'll discuss it. But that's it for Boondock Saints. We'll see you next week with Perfect Weapons, and thank you so much for joining us on Bullets, Bourbon,
and Karate.
See you next week.
Now you will receive us. We do not ask for your poor or your hungry. We do not want your tired and sick.
It is your corrupt we claim.
It is your evil that will be sought by us.
With every breath, we shall hunt them down.
Each day, we will spill their blood till it rains down from the skies.
Do not kill. Do not rape. Do not steal. These are principles which every man of every faith can embrace.
These are not polite suggestions. These are codes of behavior. And those of you that ignore them will pay the dearest cost.
There are varying degrees of evil. We urge you lesser forms of filth, not to push the bounds and cross over into true corruption, into our domain.
But if you do, one day you will look behind you and you will see we three. And on that day, you will reap it.
And we will send you to whatever God you wish.
And shepherds we shall be, for thee, my Lord, for thee. Power hath descended forth from thy hand. Therefore we swiftly carry out thy command. So we shall flow river forth to thee, and teeming with souls shall it ever be.
In nomine Patri.
Et Filii. Spiritus Sancti.